The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Aaron Glenn is officially named Justin Fields, the Jets starting quarterback, and wait till you hear what he expects from Fields to do with the Jets. Plus, Darren Muji just spoke. He said some notable things. We'll talk about all of it. It's the Jake Asman Show, live on a Sunday. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
Number one, we play with maximum effort. There's 3 elements of effort. Got burst, speed, and finish. If I don't see one of those, man, you're a traitor. Go play for somebody else. Win, lose, or draw. The one thing you're going to say about our defense, using the fight. That's an ass kicker.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, here on a Sunday. Big thank you to everyone who tuned in to my 4 hours on Mad Dog Sports Radio on Sirius XM. If you want more of me after this, tonight from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., I will be live on ESPN Radio across the country. You could listen on any local ESPN affiliate, no matter where you are, or Sirius XM Channel 80, or just hit the radio button in the ESPN app, and you can hear me live. Before we get to what everyone wants to talk about, and that's what Aaron Glenn is predicting for Justin Fields, I want to remind all of you that you need to buy your draft ticket if you haven't already. We're going to be live at Clifton Hall in New York City the night of the first round, 7 p.m. until round 1 ends. Your ticket includes a complimentary drink and automatic entry into our raffle. It's going to be a great night. Come hang out with me and a bunch of great Asmaniacs at Clifton Hall in New York City. We still got tickets left, but go quickly before we sell out. The link to do so is in the description for this video. All right. Before I tell you what Glenn said, Darren Muji at the owners' meetings, which I guess technically start tomorrow, but Muji spoke tonight. This was Darren Muji moments ago confirming what we knew. Justin Fields is the Jets' starting quarterback.
You see Justin Fields as, it's only a 2-year contract, obviously, but is kind of the intrigue there, just what maybe there's some untapped ability there that people haven't seen yet?
I do. I do believe that. And we believe Justin is the starter. We believe in Justin. We believe we can win with Justin. So we're excited about Justin's potential.
Short and sweet. Justin's the starter. Now, I thought the Jets might try and play it off like, well, we believe in Justin, but Tyrod's been here, and he's going to have to win the job from Tyrod. It's a competition. Jets aren't taking that approach. Good. Justin Fields is the starter. You gave him $30 million guaranteed. It's essentially a 1-year, $30 million commitment. He's under contract for 2 years if need be. So if he does have this great year, he breaks out, you're not stuck with what happened with Sam Darnold and the Vikings, where it's like, what do we do? Do we pay this guy? Do we let him hit free agency? Like, you have Fields under contract. But we're a long way away from having to worry about extending Fields long term. But Muji confirming what we knew. Fields is the guy. And now I want to bring your attention to an interview that Aaron Glenn did with Judy Batista of the NFL Network. Now, Glenn will talk tomorrow in that breakfast table setting that you get every year with these owners' meetings down in Florida. But Aaron Glenn did speak already to at least one reporter. He did an interview with the NFL Network's Judy Batista. And in this interview, Aaron Glenn's predicting major things for the Jet quarterback. Take a look at your screen. Here's the full quote that you'll see pop up here. Quote, "He has a quiet confidence about himself. He can really throw the deep ball really, really well. Obviously, his legs are something that's dynamic, not just in college, but the NFL as well. I just think he's ready to break out as a top-notch quarterback. So he's going to do everything he can to be one of the better ones, and we're going to coach our asses off to make sure he does a good job out there. Couple things from these quotes. First, the idea that the New York Jets would select a quarterback at 7 is not happening. Cam Ward would be the only quarterback I think the Jets would consider. He will not be there at 7. He's going number 1 of the Titans. It's basically a foregone conclusion. These quotes tell you it's the Justin Fields show for a year. I don't think Jackson Dart to the Jets is a real thing anymore at pick 7. Maybe if he's there at 42, could they take him? Sure. But I don't even think then that's going to happen either. I do expect the Jets at some point to seriously consider drafting someone at the quarterback spot, maybe on day 3 with one of their 4th-round picks, maybe a 5th-round pick. But I don't think there's any scenario now where the Jets are taking a quarterback at 7. These quotes speak volumes. When you give a guy $30 million and the head coach comes out and says, I think he's ready to break out as a, quote, top-notch quarterback, that's telling you they think, hey, we believe in Fields. He could do what Darnold did with the Vikings. He could do what Baker did with the Buccaneers. That's what those quotes tell you. When your head coach says that, that speaks volumes. When you expect a quarterback to break out, those words matter from Aaron Glenn, who has tried to basically not make it about one player and not say a whole lot in any interviews he's done until this point. Fields is the guy. We could put to bed the quarterback talk at 7. It's not happening. Well, we could hope, I think, if you're a Jet fan, and most of you watching this show are Jet fans, what we could hope happens now is, let's say Shedeur Sanders does slide, and he's there at 7. Hopefully someone likes him, and we'll make a deal with the Jets, and I'll trade out of there so fast to not take him. I mean, it's not even funny. And I don't even love Fields, but I think he's a better quarterback than Sanders. I would not touch Shedeur Sanders with a top 7 pick. I don't think it's justifiable. I don't even think the Giants, who were thought to be the Shedeur Sanders spot, are doing it anymore. Notice they signed Russell Wilson the same exact day. Cam Ward lights it up at his pro day, and all the talk is, well, that seals it. He's definitely going number 1. They wanted Ward. They know they couldn't get him, so they pivoted to Russ. Maybe I'm dead wrong. Maybe Sanders is still their pick, but the point is, I don't think the Jets are taking a quarterback at 7, based on those comments there from Aaron Glenn. Based on Muji calling him the starter. They like Fields. They like his upside. And once again, if you were going to move on from Rodgers, going with Fields is a worthwhile move because you're not wasting a year with a 26-year-old who has potential. We'd be wasting a year if they went into this year with Tyrod and Carson Wentz. If they went into this year with Tyrod and Marcus Mariota or Kirk Cousins or the other quarterbacks that were linked as options to the Jets besides Fields. Fields is someone that, while I have my doubts on what he could be, at least there's more of an upside with him than any of the other names we've discussed. And once again, no one saw Sam doing what he did. No one saw Baker Mayfield doing what he did. So you never know. The thing is, though, and I said this on the radio when I talked about this on Mad Dog Sports Radio today on Sirius, the thing that Sam Darnold had that Justin Fields is not going to have is an elite offensive coach. Elite offensive playmakers. I mean, Sam's throwing to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. The Jets right now have Garrett Wilson and who? Muji's now leaving the door open for Lazard to come back on a pay cut. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. Josh Reynolds, who signed for less than $3 million. Right? Like, Darnold threw to weapons. He had protection. He had an O-line. And the biggest thing that he had is he had Kevin O'Connell. And it's why it's tough for me to sit here and, like, project what I think Fields is going to do because who's the play caller? We don't know what Tanner Engstrand is. We hope he's awesome. We hope he learned a lot from Ben Johnson and he applies what he learned and he's the next great offensive mind. We hope. We don't know. That's the problem. That's why it's hard to picture Fields doing what Darnold did, but he doesn't need to do what Darnold did. He doesn't need to go out there and play that well for this Jets team that still does have talent on it to be better. Like, the Jets should go over their win total if they're properly coached. I have my questions on the coaching staff because we don't know, but it's hard to be worse. Can't imagine they're worse than what we saw offensively last year from a coaching standpoint. It's hard to imagine they'd somehow have a worse kicking situation than what we went through last year, right? Like, that's the hope. But when you talk about a quarterback breaking out, that tells you, like, all right, the Jets, they think they got their guy, and we'll find out. The Jets right now have one very, very good, if not great, wide receiver in Garrett. I still think they have a very good running back in Breece Hall. They are going to need to find a way to get Justin Fields better weapons if he's going to do what Aaron Glenn is now saying he expects Fields to do and break out. That's the thing. I just think he's ready to break out as a top-notch quarterback. Top-notch quarterback, like top 15 in the league, coach, 20, 10. Sign me up for that. I hope they're right. But I think if you want one big takeaway from these comments from Aaron Glenn, they're not touching a quarterback at 7. They know Cam Ward won't be there. That was the guy they liked. And they understand that for at least a year, they're going to try it with Fields and see what they have. And if it doesn't work out, there's better options in the draft next year for them to get their long-term guy. That's the approach they're taking right now. I think that's rather obvious if you've been following this. And those comments speak volumes. Some other takeaways on the Jets today. Darren Muji, in that same press conference we played the clip from at the top of the show, said AVT is going to remain a guard. This, to me, is a questionable decision. Did they even approach AVT with the idea of him being the right tackle? That we don't know. I don't know if anyone asked him that question. But I would prefer AVT to play right tackle because then I think it gives you some more flexibility in the draft. But if we operate now under the premise that the Jets are saying Vera Tucker's a guard, they need a right tackle, which I believe increases the likelihood. Pick 7, it's not a quarterback. That's not happening. Pick 7 is one of the tackles that's there, whether it's Armin Membu from Missouri or Will Campbell from LSU. One of those guys will be the pick, I think, at 7. Me personally, I'm pro weapon. I'd be comfortable taking Warren there. But I think the Jets are going to take an offensive tackle at 7. I think those comments from Muji saying AVT's a guard, that tilts my thought. So if they go offensive tackle at 7, that's fine, as long as you hit on some of your mid-round selections at the skill position spots, right? Everyone brings up Penei Sewell being the pick the Lions made several years ago. Well, what people don't bring up about that draft is the reason why it looks like it's a genius move. Oh, they took Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round. Who's that guy for the Jets this year? Can they find someone that good that late in the draft? If they can, then yeah. But like that's the key. You got to find value. That's the key. Now, no one's saying you got to draft Amon-Ra St. Brown in round 4. That's not a fair expectation for any GM. But the Jets need to get weapons out of this draft class. I don't want to hear about Allen Lazard sticking around on a pay cut. He stinks. He's led the NFL in drop rate the last 2 years. We saw him without Aaron Rodgers already once. How'd that look? Now he's going to be with an even less accurate passer than Rodgers was last year in Fields, and we're going to have him play a role in this team. There's no way. They need to come away with weapons. They need to come away with pass catchers. And that could be a tight end. That could be a wide receiver. Like if they take Warren, you got to look at Warren through the lens of he's your second best pass catcher, not that, his position's tight end. That's the key. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Reminder, we're available in podcast form, Apple or Spotify. Search The Jake Asman Show, and you will find it available however you want to consume this show in podcast form. Leave a 5-star review and help us there. It will help us continue to grow and bring in more people to this show and this channel. Before we set the stage for ASMANIAC Madness, I want everyone to know we're doing another epic raffle, as we've done every single week since December 1st. This week, we're giving away a signed Joe Namath helmet, old school Joe Willie helmet, a signed Don Maynard helmet. And I'm proud to announce we're giving away, and this took forever to finally get this done, a signed Weeb Eubank helmet. So we have our theme this week. If you haven't figured it out based on those three merch items, our theme is Super Bowl III, baby. I'm rocking the Super Bowl III hat right now. Your chance to win a Weeb Eubank helmet, a Don Maynard helmet, and a Joe Willie helmet all this week in our next ASMANIAC raffle. To be entered, you could gift a membership. As many as you gift, there's as many entries as you get. Or if you're watching from the phone and can't gift a membership because YouTube won't let you, $20 super chat will get you 5 entries. $50 super chat will get you 10, so on and so forth. Thanks to all of you who support the show and support these raffles. That allows us to have some pretty damn good prizes, I'd say. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Let's set the stage, shall we? We are in the round of 32. We have completed 3 of our 4 regions. Ladies and gentlemen, the round of 32 is set for the Chicken Soup region. The round of 32 is set for the Hood region. The round of 32 is set now for the Butter region after Gary yesterday defeated the Hamburger to advance to the Sweet 16. That means we got one region left, the Train region, led by the number 1 seed in the region, the Lane Train. So today on the show, we have the 1 seed, Lane, the number 9 seed, Rick Kent, going at it for a spot in the Sweet 16. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to vote. We hand things over to Jim Nance to get this matchup officially underway.
It's time for ASMANIAC Madness. Who will cut the nets down as the top ASMANIAC for 2025? Some of you don't even care, but we do. Let's get to it.
Vote, vote, vote for your chance to send either Lane or Rick to the Sweet 16. Let's go. All right, we'll get to your calls coming up. But first, Robert Morris is in the ASMANIAC raffle for 5 by gifting, you see it on the screen, 5 channel memberships.
It's the ASMANIAC membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
New Jet City, Nemesis 561, Johns, JP Nicholson, and Pix L. Yak, all receiving a membership there from Robert Morris. Not from the college, but from Ithaca College. That Robert Morris. Shout out to you, Robert. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not done. We got more memberships flying off the shelves. Who else but the great Mimosa? She's in the next ASMANIAC raffle for 10.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
Arac Obama, NY Jets fan 4, Toaster Strudel, Emanyan, Jerry Weber, Dant227, Clint Alexander, Drew, Allen is a douche, Nikar Peaks, Nick Glazewski, all receiving channel memberships from Mimosa. Congratulations to everyone who got a membership. It includes a free super chat a month, bonus shows released early, emoji access, all that and more. Quick super chat before we get to your calls. They always cut the line. Sam writes in, wide receiver Kyle Williams from Washington State may be better than St. Brown. Defensive tackle Desmond Watson to end the tush push forever. Sam, Kyle Williams might be good. I know people like him. Chances are he's not going to be as good as Amon-Ra St. Brown, who I believe was an all-pro this past year. I like the positivity, though. I hope he is. The Jets take him. But, like, my point on that is, like, it's rare to hit on a guy that good in the 4th round. So, I feel like if the Jets stick and pick where they are at, 3 picks in the top 73, 7, 42, 73, bare minimum, you have to feel like you're getting 3 starters there. including someone at 7 that you believe is truly I don't want to say transcendent because I don't know if that player is there at 7 necessarily, but a damn good player that's going to be here for a while. Like, that's what we're talking about here, that level of player. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're recapping what Aaron Glenn told Judy Batista of the NFL Network, that he believes Justin Fields is capable of being a top-notch quarterback and that he's ready to break out. Darren Muji confirmed earlier that it is Fields as the starter. They're not doing this fakakta quarterback competition. Fields is the guy, as expected. They paid him $30 million. Guaranteed. But that's where things stand. Plus, we got word that the Jets view AVT as a guard only. So that certainly impacts the thought process and the approach potentially to the NFL draft. ASMANIAC Madness is officially underway, which is why we're going to this guy first on our show today. The 9 seed in the train region going up against the Lane train. The great Rick Kent is on the line. Hello, Rick.
Hey, Jake. Thanks. First of all, let me say I have never in my life seen a Weeb Eubank autographed item before, and I think that's really awesome.
There's not many that exist. That's what took so long, to be honest with you. But I'm glad we got it. We can't do a Super Bowl III theme raffle without having the head coach of the team involved somehow.
And he's been gone a very long time, so that's very cool, very rare. So that's great. It's awesome. I
love it. And Rick, you and I have spoke off there. I mean, you remember the Super Bowl, so
yes.
You're one of the few that watches the show that could actually say they were alive and remember it well. The Jets winning Super Bowl III.
Well, that's some of what I want to talk about and why, when I plead my case, why people should think about voting for me. Because I've been, first of all, I've been a Jets fan since I was a little boy. I was 10 years old when I watched Super Bowl III with my grandfather. I grew up in a house of Giants fans. And I was the only Jet fan in the house, and I became a Jet fan when I watched the Super Bowl. I used to go to Hofstra to see Joe Namath practice. I've spoken with him. He signed a football for me about 30 years ago that I have in a display case that says, "Hey, Rick," Joe Namath. I talked to him about the car he used to drive in the early 70s because he drove this red Eldorado Cadillac with a white top, a convertible. And when I met him around 1991, I said, "Joe, do you still have that red Eldorado?" And he goes, "You remember that car? That was my favorite car I've ever owned." So I thought that was cool. But I've been around here on this show for a very long time also. There's only a handful of people who have been around here longer than me. I don't call in every day because, first of all, I live on the West Coast. So when you're live, I'm either getting ready for work or at work. I don't call in if I don't have something to say. I'm not a zany, wacky caller. I'm not a shtick guy. I'm not a persona. What you see is what you get. I'm not trying to launch a channel. I'm not auditioning for open mic night. I'm not doing any of that stuff. When I have something to say about football, I call in and we talk about it. I listen. I'm not going to say anything bad about Lane. I love Lane. I've spoken with Lane many times. I like Lane, although he's blocked me for some strange reason. I can't see his chats anymore. But I was in the chat the day that Lane called in for the first time where he said, "Did you watch the game?" And you said, "No, what happened?" And he said, "The Jets won and the other team lost." I was in the chat the first time he talked about Knoble. I was in the chat recently when he brought up Dixon Hole. I'm a Lane fan, but the real reason that you should vote for me and not Lane is because I am a New York Jets fan. And Lane, very simply, as nice and wonderful as he is not. He's a New York Giants fan. The other day on the Nick Shine show, the big fella asked him at least 15 or 20 times, Jets or Giants, and he said Giants every single time. He did not vacillate. He did not stray. If you ask Lane right now, if he's a Giants fan, he'll tell you, yes, I'm a Giants fan, and I am not. I am a Jets fan, and also I support this show a lot, as you all know. Everybody here knows me. I support the show in every way I can. If it's donating, gifting memberships, or if it's super chats. I went to London and saw the Jets play and hung out with a ton of ASMANIACs, including Jake. Hung out with guys like Dark Knight Steve and his brother Joe and Altoona Sandwich and Lee Van and Abu Dhabi Jet fan who was there from Abu Dhabi, David, a very cool guy. We watched the Mets. We watched the Yankees in the middle of the night. It was awesome. Also, the British people that were so welcoming from Gangrene UK, Ant and that group, and Nick and his wife from Green Smoke, also awesome people. I recommend anyone to go to London to see the Jets this year. I'm not sure if I'm going to go yet because I want to come to MetLife to a home game, but we'll see what happens when the Jets play in London. And that's about it. You know, if you want to vote for me, great. If you don't want to vote for me, fine. I'm not going to hold it against you. It's, you know, this is not the end of the world, but it would be nice to win because I am a Jet fan and I love this show. And Jake, you do a great job and keep up the good work. And hi to everybody in the chat, all my buddies in the chat who are out there campaigning for me. I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone in the chat.
Ladies and
because I'm
gentlemen,
one of you guys. I'm a chatter.
There's a reason why I always say, Rick, the great Rick Kent, because that pitch right there is why you're one of the greats.
And I appreciate that. And whoever made my emoji, who I think maybe was Joe Mike, thank you. I appreciate that too. And I think he made it. Somebody made it, but I think it was Joe Mike. But anyway, thanks everybody. And I don't really have. I just hope the Jets do not take a quarterback at 7. I'll be very upset if they do. Oh, I was going to come to your draft party. I was going to fly in, but that's the night that Craig is going to be here in Los Angeles. And Craig is only coming to Los Angeles to meet Addison and myself. So I'm not going to bail on him and come to the draft party. So Addison and Craig and Luke and I were going to be at an Angels baseball game that night. So we will try to check in with you guys.
I love it. I love it. Well, Rick, you're the man. Good luck against Lane. 2 great callers going at it. And, I mean, we'll find out what happens, Rick. But you're the man.
I definitely have an uphill climb against Lane. I know that. He's extremely popular.
Ladies and gentlemen, there he is. The great Rick Kent.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? ASMANIAC Madness. You get to pick the ones who make the show rock.
There he is, the Rick Kent. Great call by Rick. I mean, look, Rick's a OG Jet fan. Great to hang out with him in London, as he brought up. It's a tough matchup. He's facing a 1 seed. But it's a matchup that we can see someone win. We've seen 2 1 seeds go down. We saw Bobby Midnight be defeated by J-Quest. We saw We the People defeat Chiefs fan. Unlike the actual March Madness, which as of now, there's been 3 1 seeds that have already advanced to the Final Four. We'll find out what happens with Auburn and Michigan State right now. That game's about to tip off. ASMANIAC Madness has had plenty of upsets. So we'll find out. Right now, though, we shout out Bo C because he just gave us 10 channel memberships. Oh, baby. 10 entries for Bo in the ASMANIAC raffle. Let's go, baby.
Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches.
All right, if you hear your name called, these are from Bo C. Mike Craven, Stephen Pink, Elude Rodriguez, Robert XC, Todd Langdon, NC Jet 04, John Ciambra, Mikey Bigham, Devin Wilson, Jose Torres, all receiving memberships there from Bo. If you tuned in late, we added a 3rd prize to, I think this will be one of the best raffles we do ever. Super Bowl III themed. Old school Joe Willie Namath helmet, Don Maynard helmet sign, and all these come with certificates of authentication. Weeb Eubank is the 3rd prize I added today. He's been dead since 98. As Rick Kent said in his call, there's not a ton of these autographs that are still out there. Your chance to win a signed Weeb Eubank helmet in our Super Bowl III themed raffle. Amid writes in, vote Rick Kent, Jets, 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 Jets. Mickey writes in, I know people are going to roast me, but I don't understand why Fields is just getting this job without competition. I will die on the hill. Tyrod greater than Fields. Tyrod can't stay healthy. That's why. You don't want him having to play 17 games. He's also 36 years old. He's not 30. Fields is 26. There's an upside. He's the guy. That's why. Tyrod might be, 1 game to win. Tyrod might be better. I'm not going to say you're crazy for that thought. I think Tyrod is actually a competent NFL quarterback. He just can't stay healthy. And I want to roll with the 26-year-old that has upside over a 36-year-old that I know what he is. I don't know what Fields is just yet. I think I know that he's probably a bridge starter, more likely a long-term backup. We know what Tyrod is. Let's find out what Fields is for sure before we figure out what our plan is long-term at the position if it's not Fields. That's how I would look at it. Big fella in the house. Rick Kent is a freaking legend. He is a Jet fan. This is a no-brainer. John wants to know where Rick lives on the West Coast. Rick is in the Los Angeles area. Matthew Smith checks in. I haven't read it yet, but it might be a bad take. Let's see. That's about Rick Kent, so hopefully it's not bad. If Rick Kent has 10 fans, then I'm one of them. If Rick Kent has only one fan, then that is me. If Rick Kent has no fans, then I am dead. Finally, a take for Matthew Smith that doesn't suck. Robert Morris says, I would have voted for Rick if I knew all that. LOL. Oh, you gotta wait sometimes to vote. We give both candidates a chance to make their case. If Lane calls in, I'll put him on right away. He's not on hold right now. Ladies and gentlemen, speak of the devil, Rick Kent just dropped 20 channel memberships for the people.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
The hell with it.
Oh, I got my umbrella. You know why? Because it's raining memberships. Here we go. 20 names from the Rick Kent. Could he get 20 votes from this move? We'll find out. 615 Jet fan. Ogo PT1 Mus S. D-Board 2730. Sal Santipli. Sammy Monorenta. Kyle Sporrell. Sean Boyle. John Prado. Jeremy Aladovar. Christopher Tressler. Leo Looters. Lando. Jesse Wah. Dabs Face. Daquan Smalls. Rafael Feliciano. Paul K. The Last Letter. Oh, wow. Thomas Veradosa. That's 20 names, apparently. All gifted by the Rick Kent. Incredible. Thank you, Rick, as always, for your support. I don't know if that's going to get you some votes, but it definitely doesn't hurt. Mike D's Nuts writes in, vote for Rick. Rick getting a lot of love. But we know Lane Train, even during this tournament, has already provided us with some banner moments. Dixon Hole. Clyde Midia. Plenty of great prospects over the years. Mike D's Nuts in the house. He's dropped 5 channel memberships. And when D's Nuts gifts around here, we don't just play any video. We play special videos like this. D's Nuts. D's Nuts in the Asmaniac raffle for 5. Real 84, Jay Hertz, Money, Jet 41. All receiving memberships there from D's Nuts. Rick Kent, he's in the battle. It's 55-45, Lane leading. This is far from over. Far from over. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. They will cut the line. Let's check in on the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline with Australian Jet fan. Hello, Australian Jet fan.
Hey, Jake. How are you?
What's up, man?
So I'm sitting on the couch following the Great Chase at the moment. It's not going so well, but realistically, I wanted to ask about what do you think of the backflip the internet has done on Shedeur Sanders? Like, everyone, obviously, he was rated quite a high prospect. Now I'm seeing loads of people saying that he's not even a first-round level player. Do you think if he drops and he's available at 7, do you think the Jets would take him, or do you think they'd skip? Or what do you think? Do you think that he is overrated?
I don't think he's a top 7 pick. I think he'll go in the first round. I watch Shedeur Sanders and I see a guy that's solid. I think if you're taking a quarterback in the top 7, you got to believe that guy is special, especially if you're in the AFC where the best quarterbacks are for the most part. I don't see special when I watch Sanders. I see a guy that at his best is like Dak Prescott. Like, good. I don't know if he's ever going to be great. I watch Cam Ward, and I think he's deserving of being a first-round pick, top 5 pick, because I think Cam Ward at his best, he's special. He could go toe-to-toe with some of the best quarterbacks in the league. That's how I like to kind of look at quarterbacks. It's not like I get a chance to interview these guys and get to know how they are at, leading and processing stuff and all that. But like just watching, I don't think the Jets are going to take Sanders. And I also think, based on what Aaron Glenn said earlier today to the NFL Network, I think the idea the Jets are going to take any quarterback at 7 is not going to happen now. Maybe they would take Cam, but he won't be there. So it's a moot point.
And also, I wanted to ask, what do you think about Malachi Corley? Like, obviously, they traded up to get him last year. He is one of the receivers that, we have on our roster. Everyone's talking about how thin the wide receiver room is. He had that, obviously, mistake last year, which basically, I guess, got him blacklisted. Do you think that under the new regime that he might see some game time or that he could actually potentially be a solid contributor?
I have no idea what to expect from him. I mean, you hope he could contribute. They used a high 3rd-round pick on him. They tried to get him in the 2nd round. New regime, though. They didn't draft him. His coaching staff didn't work with him. Like, was the disconnect Corley was bad, or was the coaching staff clueless in how to use him? Like, what's the real story? I don't know. I think he'll get a chance to earn some sort of role, but I'm not going into this year counting on him to be anything more than like a backup wide receiver on this team. To me, he's not a starter.
And lastly, there's no chance Lazard stays, right? Like, he wanted out. He's no good. Like, what incentive would the Jets have to keep him, like, realistically?
I still don't think he's on the team. I know they said that they'd be open to it, and it's a fluid situation, I think was the word Muji used earlier. I don't see it. I think if you just kind of look at what they've done this offseason, they have moved on from anyone that's basically been associated with Aaron Rodgers in the previous era, the failed coaches and some of the players. I'd be very surprised if they ended up keeping Lazard. I think they release him post June 1. They save more money by doing that, or they wait for Rodgers to pick a team and see if a team will flip them a 7th-round pick so they just get something for Lazard,
Yeah, I mean, who would give anything up for him? Let's be real.
Maybe Pittsburgh if they sign Rodgers and they're like, we'll get you Lazard to give you a friend on the team. I don't know. I think that's what they're hoping.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the call. Have a good one. Lane, get on here. I need you to convince me to vote for you because right now I'm voting Rick Kent.
Wow, strong. Ladies and gentlemen, Australian Jet fan checking in from Finland. This guy is in the Clifton estate. Kyle Clifton is up next. Hello, Kyle.
Good on, Jake. I think that Australian Jet fan probably got Rogers' room at the Darkness Retreat Lodge.
It really did look like that way.
So, yeah, Rick Kent makes a cogent case, man. His generosity he was well stated. He's, sticking out on the left coast to hang out with Addison and Craig. That shows, community. And, Lane, we all love Lane, but he's not here right now. He's probably out on the road beating the bushes for prospects. It's Rick Kent the way I'm leaning right now. I haven't voted yet, and when I get off, I'm leaning that way. That comment about AVT definitely sticking at guard. We know we're in the silly season right now. I don't really see Glenn as Muji as the guys who put up a ton of smoke screens. But that said, I mean, I don't like a whole lot of the rhetoric I hear from them as far as like we're going to be good right away, and like they're putting a whole lot of pressure, and even with like AVT's going to be a guard, we're putting ourselves in a box there a little bit. We should be able to have that flexibility. I don't know if that means that they feel like AVT is a much better performer at guard, he shouldn't be moved, or that there's not anyone when we pick at 42 that would be worth taking to play at right tackle. But I think you and I are of the same mind that we need a weapon. And as far as wide receiver goes, I don't see a whole lot of them out there in this draft. That's why I was leaning towards Warren at 7. But again, I will do whatever it takes to get the team better. I really would. My top preference is to trade back and get more picks, more bites at the apple, because the more I think about it, the more I think this team needs it. But we all know how hard that can be. That's pretty much all I had. I mean, but just for Would you to come out and say that, I don't know if there's really anything to it because it is the silly season, and like, you know, you have to be opportunistic and nimble in the draft, and just painting the picture that you're more willing to take a right tackle at 7 doesn't do that.
I think AVT is going to be the guard. You're right, Kyle. It is silly season. I think AVT is going to be a guard. I don't necessarily agree with it. I just think it's setting the stage for them to take Membu at 7. And they're going to bank on finding a weapon on day 2. I hope. But they do. Because the Jet history of trying to do that is horrendous. Now, let me say this about Kyle Clifton. Kyle Clifton is in action tomorrow in ASMANIAC Madness, our first show of the day. The 4 versus 5 in the train region. Clifton, Jay Graves. And then our second show on the day tomorrow, Bonesy, Chef Kevin, tomorrow afternoon. But right now, all eyes are on the Kent and Lane matchup. Rick Kent made his case, and the votes are coming his way. At one point in time, it was a 10-point game, but now 50-50 with 326 votes that have been cast. If someone knows how to get a hold of the Lane train, get him on the show to make his case, because Rick made his, and it is having a big-time impact. Big-time impact. We got a real battle here. A 1 seed could be going down for the 3rd time in this tournament. Unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to more of your calls, who better than Mike D's Nuts? A 20 spot of channel memberships were just gifted by the OG GOAT gifter himself, Mike D's Nuts.
Hey, thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership.
Here we go. 20 names from Mike D's Nuts. Strap up, folks. Strap up. If you want a membership, this might be the show for you. Click the like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Have on that you are eligible to receive a membership. Click on Mike's name in the live chat. Turn the setting on if it's off, and you got a shot. Jonathan McNamara, Nicholas Cook, Gavin Taraboka, Liam DeFonzo, Nitra4171, Verfer 1K, Mission 0814, Austin Bass, Alan is a douche nozzle, Greg Scott, Darren Watson, Vic Cortez, Russell Lambauer, Tommy Clifford, John Hardigan, Sam Jones, AP, Jonathan Nelson, William Amelli, Tehran Fuller, Neil Razwan, all receiving memberships there from, who else? Are you kidding me? It's Mike D's Nuts. That's who. D's Nuts. Baby. Super Bowl III raffle. It's bringing out the best in the ASMANIACs. We're giving away, just added today, a signed Weeb Eubank helmet by the Hall of Fame Jet legend. Weave, Maynard, Namath. 3 Jets Hall of Famers. Part of forever. Super Bowl III champions. Mike's got 20 more entries for a chance to win one of those prizes. I'm going to address this question that I get asked at least once a week from people who clearly don't listen to me because I've said it 1,000 times. Timothy writes in, you were against tight end at 11 last year. Now you want a tight end at 7. Why did you change up? You better be an all-pro tight end, right? You got angry at people last year. Timothy, I don't know how many times I have to explain this, but I will explain it again. Last year, you had a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers coming off an Achilles injury. You signed a left tackle who we knew was not going to stay healthy. Your right tackle was coming off shoulder surgery. It was an elite tackle class last year. To me, tackle was more of an importance. Turned out to be the right pick. This year, the Jets have 4 of their 5 starters on the O-line already solidified, including left tackle, which is more important. than any other position on your offensive line. The Jets have operated in free agency where they don't have a wide receiver 2 on their roster right now. They need weapons. I don't know if there's a receiver worth taking at 7. If there were, I would say take that guy. I believe when you evaluate the best players in this draft, if you look at Tyler Warren through the lens of he would be your second best pass catcher right away, and he could give you blocking to help you in the running game, and we know the Jets want to run the football, and Daniel Jeremiah has said he's such a good blocker, it'd be like playing with another offensive lineman. I think you can make a real argument that it makes sense to take Warren because not all drafts are created equal. Warren is a top 5 player in this draft class, and I don't know if there's necessarily a receiver that's deserving at 7 or if it's worth to take a right tackle at 7 when you could be like other teams in the league and find a starting tackle on day 2 in the draft. Or what I wanted the Jets to do, play AVT at right tackle and find a plug-and-play guard that you could put in so you get your best 5 out there. But the Jets have now said AVT is a guard, so I think they're going to go tackle. But that is why, once again, I am open to the idea of them going tight end, whereas last year it was not the case. So I don't know how else to say it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Lepselter is in the Asmaniac raffle for 5.
Money, 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 money.
John Halpern, Stacksman, ADU, Train OP, Joe Price, NY Jets for life, all receiving channel memberships from Jay. More of your calls right now. But first, scoreboard update. It remains 50-50 with 360 votes that have been cast. We got another battle here in Asmaniac Madness. Johnny Boy is next on the line. He goes on our show next. Hello, Johnny.
Hey, what's going on, Jake? How you holding up, bro?
Oh, we're living the dream, Johnny.
I hear that, man. Hey, coming on real quick because, I got to endorse our guy, the legend himself, Rick Kent. There's a lot of, I don't even like using the word stories. There are events that have occurred that he's been part of. I mean, one of them, I remember hearing, he had a beer with Joe Namath. And I remember when Joe Namath was wanting to pick up the tab, he said, no, this is on me. You've done more than enough for our beloved Jets. He's a Jet fan, man, through and through itself. So this other guy, Lane, is a Giants fan. What are we talking about? He was given multiple chances to say, hey, I love the Jets over them. Nope, didn't do it. He said,
I do want to say this, though, Johnny. This is not a Jet fan tournament. Like, I have no problem with people using that as, like, their deciding factor. Like, vote however you want to vote. Like, it's a tournament about people who call into this show. But there's no rule that says you have to have been a Jet fan. It's called Asmaniac Madness, not Jet Madness. Like, to me, like, vote however you want to vote. I think Rick Kent's amazing. Like, if I had a vote, I would strongly consider voting for Rick as well. But, like, I do want to emphasize that, like, it's not a disqualifier if you happen to not be a Jet fan. It's about people who call the show and the entertainment value that they provide, or however you like their takes, you like the moments they provide. So I do want to emphasize that it's not like a cardinal sin if you root for another team and you happen to support the show,
Yeah, but I mean, we want a Jet fan to win it for the first time. So as much as the Jets haven't provided some W's for us, why not let this be as the first W a Jet fan can bring to us? And Rick's that dude, man. So
I get it.
Again,
but this will not lead to more wins for the Jets. I wish it would.
That's a possibility, man. I mean, his legendary calls could help out with.
I'd vote for Rick because Rick is an Asmaniac. He brought up everything he does. He supports the channel with memberships. He came to the event in London. He is, truly in the chat every day. Like that to me would be the argument. Not, Lane's not a Jet fan, so I can't vote for him. But that's for the voters to decide. I don't have a vote. I'm not allowed to vote on my own poll.
And I mean, Rick is an Asmaniac, through and through as well. So again, plus, if we're gonna go on style, my man's hair is always on point. Lane's is not. So what are we talking about? Jake, I appreciate you, man, but I think we're going right tackle, man. I think they're gonna get Membu at 7, bro.
I think so too.
And
I agree.
And then I'm not upset about it at all whatsoever.
I'm not mad about it, but I don't love it. I think it's going to be, for me, if that's what they do, I think what we're going to be saying draft night is, okay, I understand. Who are they taking now at 42? Because it's probably going to be a pass catcher. And that guy's got to be good, right? You could draft T. Higgins in the second round, or you could draft Elijah Moore. You could draft Michael Pittman in the second round, or you could draft Denzel Mims. Like, who are the Jets going to draft? I think that's how you got to look at it. Adam is too cool. In all my mocks, I feel much better trading down and getting an extra day 2 pick or 2. Defensive tackle, OT, tight end, receiver in the first 3 rounds feels real good. I for the record, I'm still team trade back as well. I think I'm just a realist. I don't know if there's going to be a deal that makes sense to move back. That's the question. We're presented today by our brand new sponsor. Calling all you gamers out there, Turtle Beach. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Their Stealth 700 headset right here. The wireless headsets. They sent me one. So for all you gamers looking to upgrade your system, these are the gaming headsets for you. PC headsets, Xbox, PlayStation. They have it. Check it out. Turtle Beach. I mean, do I need to say more? If you're a gamer, they're comfortable. Your audio is not going to sound terrible. The Generation 3 Stealth 700 headset. I got a promo code for all the gamers out there to use, including my brother Zach. Promo code, get this, Asman at turtlebeach.com. Brand new headsets. Check it out. Any of their products. Level up your game. 10% off. If you're a gamer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not a gamer and you're maybe getting into gaming, these are the gold standard gaming headsets that you're going to want, whether you game on the PC, Xbox, or PlayStation. Check it out. Turtle Beach, shout out to them for sponsoring the show. Get yourself some new Stealth 700 headsets. Promo code Asman, turtlebeach.com. All right. Let's see what you guys are thinking on the phones here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in with Stan from Westport. Hello, Stan.
Hey, Jake. Been away for a little bit, but nice to get back. Great show. I mean, you know, with Rick going to London, I mean, that's great dedication. Obviously, you need to have the resources to do so. But I also think, first of all, West Ham United is my team in EPL. That's our stadium. I would recommend this year, if it's in the same venue, which, it might be in Tottenham. Hold on. No, I'm sorry. It was in Tottenham Stadium. But the point is, I think that game really solidified Woody cleaning house because of the embarrassment that he suffered as former ambassador. And he had like 1,000 VIP guests from the British Isles sitting there watching Sam Darnold beat them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's rough to take. And I think that one moment, that game probably made everything else kind of happen like dominoes, in my opinion.
I think it was that. I also think it was the previous week, just how ugly it was against Denver. You're 9.5-point favorites. You're at home, and you scored 9 points and lost.
Yeah.
And that to me, the combination of that and then the no-show in London, that did it, and that set the season on a spiral they never recovered from.
True. The other thing is I voted for Rick. I normally don't vote that often, but the thing about Rick is that I basically believe that since the NCAAs are all chalk and Auburn's got a pretty big lead on Michigan State now, they'll have 4 number ones, and I think the ASMANIAC should have any number of upsets weaving its way through to the Final Four. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Stan. If you want upsets, this tournament has provided that, and the actual March Madness has provided none of it. I mean, let's just look at our Sweet 16. We got a 15 seed in there. We have an 8 seed in there. We have a 6 seed in there, an 8 seed in there. And we'll say if Rick Kent can upset the Lane train, Mr. Dixon Hole himself, the scout that found Knoble, could Rick Kent take out the Lane train? 51-49, Lane leading the Rick Kent. More of your calls right now. This guy knows Rick Kent personally. Addison is next. Hello, Addie.
Howdy, Jake. How's it going today, sir?
What's up, Addison?
Just wanted to, come in and voice my support for the man, the myth, the legend, Rick Kent. He, what's there to say about him? He had a beer with Joe Namath, like Johnny said. That's fucking awesome. And when Nate was out here, he defended him against rabid 49er fans. And he's just one of the coolest bastards you'll ever meet. And I also came to compliment Lane, and I know it's not a baseball thing, but I just want to compliment Lane for he likes the Mets, but I saw a great piece of apparel that he owns, and it's a 2024 World Series champions Dodgers hat, and I just want to compliment him for owning that.
Why would he own that? Yeah.
It's a beautiful piece of merchandise, and I think that everyone out there should get one.
I'm not surprised that is your take, Addison. But I appreciate your endorsement of Rick Kent. He's an excellent caller, excellent man,
Absolutely.
Humanitarian.
Yeah, and he's, like you said, he's been to London. He travels with the team. He's bled green longer than a lot of us have been alive. And I know it's not a Jet fan tournament; it's an ASMANIAC tournament. But that was a big forefront. J Quest against Bobby, and as Mikey got eliminated from this tournament, I am now free to voice my endorsements for other ASMANIACs that we all know and love. And Rick Kent is one of those guys. Nothing against Lane, we love him, but come on, Rick Kent. It's Rick Kent.
Yeah, look, Addison, you make some fair points. The thing is, Mikey Midnight went down, and he is a Jet fan. I think J Quest was just trending at the right time. I think Bobby's moody, as evident by the fact he's still boycotting this show now. How many times have we said that the last few months? There's always an incident with Bobby being a drama queen. And then Mikey's great, but he's only been calling for a little bit. And he went up against an OG in Ricky NY, and Ricky NY got the vote from the people who know him. Been here the longest. Ladies and gentlemen, Lane is up 52-48 now. So Rick Kent got it to 50-50, but now some votes are coming in for the Lane train. Let's continue with your calls right now. Super Chats will cut the line. If you have anything you want to ask, we talked about what Glenn said to NFL Network, what Muji said about Fields. For those of you tuning in late, let's reset. Here's Darren Muji on Justin Fields at the NFL owners meetings earlier today.
You see Justin Fields is, it's only a 2-year contract, obviously, but is kind of the intrigue there, just what maybe there's some untapped ability there that people haven't seen yet?
I do. I do believe that. And we believe Justin is the starter. We believe in Justin. We believe we can win with Justin. So we're excited about Justin's potential.
They believe in Justin Fields. But here's the question I have going off of that. Do they believe in achievement? Like we know our guy Dave Briga certainly does.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Or they call him One Punch Briga. The moon landing was free. They call him One Punch Briga. His claim is not true. They call him One Punch Briga. He did Johnson's fight his ass. One Punch Briga. Don't you know they need done?
There he is, the
Hello,
Dave Briga.
I couldn't help myself. I had to call in on a run. Anyway, when I see this, the great Rick Kent, the man of achievement of the Jay Asman show, probably the top ASMANIAC, please put your votes out for him. We're into the big boy league now. I think Lane's going to be coming up against big competition. It's a whole different ball game. Rick's able to do that. Lane, I love the guy, but we got to go for Rick Kent. People out there, cast your votes for the great Rick Kent, a man of tremendous achievement, a man that proves day by day on his channel that he stands up for greatness and a #1 achiever of this channel, supporting it to the ultimate. So please, this is the big boy time now, and this is a time for Rick Kent. I love Lane, but sorry, I just got to go this way. And I know all the ASMANIACs are casting their votes according to their conscience, but please cast your vote for Rick Kent. And I'm praying that, that Muji's making the right, deal here with that hopefully Fields is our man. So we're going with him this year. No quarterback at number one. Just protect the quarterback. You got to get some men that can move the ball and rush the quarterback. So again, this is all I have to say. Rick Kent, go baby, go. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, Mr. Dave Briga.
He thinks that Charles and Bobby need to get a job. This cowboy hates to see Asmaniacs complain. What he call him, one punch Briga. You need to get a job. What he call him, one punch Briga. The beast is on his ass. Call him one punch Briga. Has anyone seen Bean Mac? Call him one punch Briga. You'll only need one.
That could decide this tournament, at least this matchup. A Dave Briga endorsement, one punch Briga. Is that enough to get Rick Kent past a 1 seed? The Lane Train. Paolo wants to know, is Rick Kent related to Clark Kent? I've often said that Rick Kent is my superhero. In fact, that's the emoji for Rick Kent. It's him as Superman with the cape on. I mean, both callers are excellent. I'm glad that I don't get the vote in my own poll because I'm torn. I love both. How could I not love Lane? How could I not love Rick? More calls right now. Bomber's on the line. He's next. Hey, Bomber.
What's up, Jet Jake? Jet Pilots, what's up, man? Rick also has my vote, and nothing against Lane. But I believe in the things of achievement, and he's a great man of achievement. So, he also has my vote. Slick Rick, you got my vote, baby. But at this pick 7, and to put it in basketball terms, we finally got our point guard, which will be Justin Fields. We got our shooting guard, which will be Garrett Wilson. But who's our center? Who's our big man? Who's the man that they're going to need to fear the most? At 7, we're taking Tyler Warren. Every great team has a tight end of history and a great achievements, and we don't have that, and every division has a great tight end of great achievements, but we don't have that. Tyler Warren is the piece that's missing, and I understand Ruckert has history with Garrett and Justin Fields, but we can still use that too, but he's not a Tyler Warren. He can do it all. He's a jack of all trades. We can use him at the line. He can run routes. He's a big threat. So, we're going to need that piece right there. And nothing towards Mimbu. We could use an offensive piece, but I still feel like we can find another piece just as great as him in the later rounds. Tyler Warren is my pick at 7.
I'd take him, Bomber. I would have no problem with that. I think they're going to take the offensive tackle, though. That's my feeling.
You believe that?
I do. The Jets have done the opposite of anything I've wanted them to do for the last 4 months. So why would it be different on draft night?
Because we need more pieces on the offensive side. And I understand the offensive line needs to be fixed, but that can be still fixed. But that type of piece right there, Tyler Warren, he can be on the line and be off the line. So why not take a threat like that? A man that could make defensive backs have nightmares. And he's the piece.
I agree. I think he'd make a lot of sense. Yeah.
If they're smart, Glenn and Muji, they'll do us right. And if Mimbo's the piece, power to him. He just better be like the hawk on that damn line, because nothing better not get in. He better just be angry all the time, blocking everything. And we need him if that's the case. But my vote is Tyler Warren and Slick Rick.
I'll tell you what, Bomber. I appreciate the take. I get it. I just think they're going to take a tackle. Which I'm not going to sit here and criticize night 1 if it's Membo. Like, I understand. But it's like, you have to now then get pick 42 right, assuming it's a pass catcher, which I would imagine it would be. So the NFL owners meetings are happening. We get the annual NFL head coach photo. Spot Aaron Glenn in the photo here. I already found him. I'll give everyone 5 seconds. Bottom left. Third from the left. Boom. AG. Enjoying his first NFL owners meeting as the head coach of the NYJ. Who's he sitting next to? On the left is Ben Johnson. On the right is Mike McDaniel. Right behind him is the Saints head coach now, Kellen Moore. Far left is Jonathan Gannon. Brian Daboll's on the top left. Todd Bowles is directly diagonal from Glenn. Love it. The only head coach that I'm seeing that's not pictured here is Raheem Morris of the Falcons. Maybe he had to take a dump or something during this. I don't know. But he's not here. Maybe his flight was delayed. Andy Reid front and center with his Hawaiian shirt. Glenn's going to speak tomorrow. I'll be live after it at 10 a.m. breaking it down. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to fashion, we just talked about what Andy Reid's wearing. When it comes to fashion, this guy is always dressed like $1 million.
Beast Breaker 666. He's the man who would kick your ass, and then he's gabagoo.
Good evening, Jake. And you see the hat that I'm wearing?
Oh, I see.
Golf. It's golf, and it has the. You see those three things there? Those are tees.
I'm more focused on your ponytail there, Beast.
No, I took a shower today. I needed a nice little smooth look. So, yeah, I'm looking at this Tyler Warren. I'd like to get him. I'm still wondering if we can get Membu. I was gonna give you a nice present on Tuesday. I was gonna give you a 50 for something, something special. Because the 4 guys are bothering me, and it's Bobby Beasley and his cronies. Can I please send them to Stupid Town on your behalf if I give you a 50?
I don't know who Bobby Beasley is. Beast.
He's from Wisconsin. This guy has been a menace and a thorn to me for over 3 years. He's been nothing but trouble, and I don't like the guy, but I'm not enough about that right now. I'm gonna address myself to football and other things. I like to point out where can we get some defensive guys and some big guys. I mean, we are still lacking in the wide receiver department, the TE department, and our defensive line and a kicker. Is Michael Clemens fired yet, or is he still there?
He's still technically there.
Why? The guy is a joke. I swear to God. Mr. Briga, can you please take Michael Clemens and get him a job at McDonald's, please? You can have him flip him hamburgers, and selling fries for a couple bucks. And for me, I like to sit back. I would love to go to a Jet game one of these days, but with the way money is today, it's tough. But
hey, Beast, you pick the Jet game next season you want to go to, and I'll make sure I get you tickets to it. All right? You tell me.
I'll tell you what. You got yourself a deal there, champ. And you, me, big fella, and Gator, one of these days, we're all gonna meet up and we're gonna go out. You know where? Some tacos.
And then you know what's gonna happen after that, Beast? You're gonna sound like this.
Would you silence, or should I do one of these?
I'm looking forward to it. Not the last part, but the taco scenario. I'll be long gone by the time that meal's over. Rick Kent writes in, win or lose, Dave Briga's endorsement makes my day. I love it. That's strong. That's powerful. That's the most coveted endorsement you can get these days in this tournament. Peter Castro says Fields is a winner. Peter, I love you. He's 10-28 in his career as a starter. He's not a winner. He's been bad. He's been bad from a win-loss record. Not all him. This past year, he was 4-2. He had real coaching, and he still got benched. I have my doubts. I'm happy with Fields over some of the other worse options, but I got to see it. Scoreboard update: 53-47. Lane Train leading by 6 over Rick Kent, but it ain't over till Charles Gorman farts around here. So vote if you're just tuning in. Nate, Nate is next. Hey, Nate.
Hey, what's up, Jake? How are you?
Oh, no, you're walking. You're not on the bike. What is this?
No, I'm on the bike. I'm
Oh,
just.
you are
I
on
got
the
a
bike, okay.
basket. Yeah, I'm on the bike. You don't want the basket view. There's not a lot going. It's all right. But
This is good. Yeah, we prefer this. We want to see. We like to see the roads.
basket view.
Yeah, basket view is
or,
good. Yeah,
or
that's
crotch
perfect.
view. You don't want the crotch. All right.
I'm good on the crotch.
All right. You feel like ET in the basket when on the final scene when they're trying to send him back to his planet. Shout out to Tom H for that. His ET view. But yeah, I had to call on behalf of Rick Kent. I voted for Rick on one account. I'm on my way home to vote for him on my 2 other accounts that are logged in on my computer. So he's got Rick. We got a little late push coming from the state of New York once the polls close. Oops, sorry. But yeah, Rick was there for me in San Francisco. He took out a couple 49ers fans with me. He's also, I don't know if people know this, he's a very humble guy. He's been on like 14 different game shows, which is very impressive, but equally impressive, he's probably declined like 17 game shows. The guy, like he's a TV icon amongst the Asmaniacs. I think he's a 3 or 4 time Jeopardy winner. And like he might not win today, but if he wanted to, he could probably win or hold any local government in the state of California or anything else if he wanted to. All I'm saying, if I grew up to be Rick Kent, I wouldn't be mad. So vote Rick Kent. I don't want to take. Who's he going against again? What one seed? Lane Chiefs?
Lane Train.
Lane Train. Not to take anything away from Lane Train. One, he's not a Jets fan. He's not. And I love Lane. He's a Mets fan. He's always got his Max Scherzer shirt on, which I love. But this is a Jets podcast, and he's a Giants fan. And like most people have been trending. We've been seeing the OG Jets guys have kind of been winning. Well, Rick falls in line with all the OG Jets guys. So all you OG Jets guys, if you're doing your Sunday brunch today, get home and vote Rick Kent. He falls in line with what's going on in the polls. He's an OG Jets, and he's going against a Giants fan. Like, this is another Bobby. If Mikey went down and Bobby went down, and Mikey's a true Jets fan, then we can't have a line. Are we on the Elite Eight? We definitely can't have a Giants fan in the Elite Eight. They have to be all true Jets fans, and that's what Rick is. I don't know if Rick's called in, but Rick will give you that same Drake Quest energy. Like, fuck with me, and I'll take your throat out, and fuck with any of my Jets fans, and I'll slice you. Like, that is Rick Kent. My girlfriend, actually, she's the one Asmaniac. Rick Kent is on the top of her list. The top of her list. I think he told a story one time, and Rick Kent said, "Oh, I wouldn't have taken that shit. I would have punched him in the fucking throat." I think he was talking about an Asmaniac he was a viewer, so I won't say the name. But yeah, Rick Kent he's a humble, classy guy, but don't zing because he will zag you. So vote Rick. Vote Rick. If I have to, I'm at Gray's Papaya. I'm willing to harass some hot dog eaters to vote for Rick if I need to.
Wow. I mean, if you get back on the bike to campaign for Rick, that could sway the matchup, Nate. There's no doubt.
Bro, Rick, say the words. Rick, say the words. I don't want to do anything if that's what he wishes. I want to listen to the head of the campaign trail over here.
And Rick did call in at the beginning of the show. He was the first caller, Nate, so you can go over.
Oh, I missed that. After. Unfortunately, I was with fucking Shine instead. I probably would have enjoyed listening to Rick Kent on a phone call instead. Nick brought little Nicky to the Yankee game, and I met him for some Raising Cane's in Penn Station afterwards before they hopefully are getting on the train in a few minutes. He's probably typing in the chat, bitching at me right now, but it was worth it for the Canes. I went for the Canes, not for Nick Shine.
The Caniac combo, I hope you got.
It's true. There was lots. It was funny to hear, and they were shouting out to all the Caniacs at yours. They say, hey, shout out to Justin, our Caniac. And I couldn't, obviously, I was hearing Asmaniacs in my head, but I guess if you're a loyal, I wasn't a Caniac. They didn't give me this shout out, but I guess if you're do points or a member with them, you're a Caniac member. So
well, the Caniac combo, and then you sub out the slaw for either extra Texas toast or fries.
Yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, but I don't want to talk about it.
That's all right.
I left the slaw on the side. I fucked up. And which was crazy because that was for 4 years at Ohio State, that with me and along with the other 60,000 students there, cured many hangovers on Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning. There was nothing like a line outside of Cane's on High Street and in Columbus, Ohio on a Saturday morning. Like that first bite of toast, that's all you needed. And like you said, you sub the slaw with extra anything you do to get some extra toast. Shove 2 of those in. If you don't got a good
Nate,
L
Dean
in front of you,
a jackass for cursing because there's small children nearby. So apologize to Dean for having a potty.
Sorry to all the children. Aren't you the? Don't you have a warning about your show? But also, who the fuck said that?
Nate, thank you very much. Family show, Nathan. God, some of you, you need to get your mouths washed out. Nate, enjoy the Upper West Side. Rick Kent writes in, I am nonviolent, but will not back down from a confrontation. Sean says, why have I not heard from V-Man in forever? The V-Man called the other day. He has not called as much of late, though. All right, let's fly through some calls here, shall we? I'm on the radio at 10 p.m. tonight, and I've already done 4 hours. Doubleheader today. Day-night doubleheader. And we're giving you this show, so we don't stop around here. I do want to plug the next raffle giveaway again for those of you just tuning in. Joe Namath signed helmet, that you know. Old school helmet. Don Maynard signed helmet. And our third prize in our Super Bowl III themed jet raffle, Weeb Eubank signed helmet. Coach Weeb, let's go. Gift away or send in the requisite super chat. We'll get you down in the raffle. More calls. Big Game James is next. What's up, James?
Mr. Asman, how you doing, buddy?
James, how are you?
Hanging in there. So I haven't called in a while. I just been listening, but I haven't been calling. So actually, I was in Washington, D.C. yesterday for a fitness race. Are you familiar with the fitness race called High Rocks?
High Rocks is called?
Yes.
I am not.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I finished the fitness race, and I was going to get all my stuff from checkout, and I ran into the broadcaster Ethan Greenberg, and I was like, "Is that Ethan Greenberg?" And I saw him wear the Jets hat, so I went up and asked him. I was like, "Are you Ethan Greenberg?" He's like, "I am he." I'm like, "Oh, I'm a Jets fan. I really, love the content you do for the Jets." So I took a picture with him, and it was like just exciting. And he was asking me, what do you think of the team? I was like, Ethan, at this point, man, it's not about telling me what's going to happen. It's just about showing me. I've been a Jets fan for 16 years, and at this point, it's like, we just got to step up and move out. Even with the draft, I'm so all over the place. We need to just get BPA, trade down, whatever it is we got to do. Let's just put ourselves in the best position to try to just, at this point, I'm like, let's just see what we can do and win with what we have. I don't think we're going to be completely crappy based on Vegas wins, but I think, this is the year just to see what can we do, And, hey, I trust Glenn, but this is the honeymoon period. So it's all about what happens come OTAs and training camp and then when week one happens. So we'll just see what happens. But, yeah,
I get your point, James. The one thing, though, that I got to say based on what you said there, they can't just rely on what they have. Like, they need to win many, or they need to add, I should say, many good players to this team in this draft class. Like, they need 3 starters from this draft, if not 4, based on how they've operated free agency so far, for them to be good.
No, you have a point there. Yeah, I mean, they have to do a lot. I'm not saying tank the season. It's just my biggest question for me, how I see this, is coaching. Do we have the coaches in place to coach up people? Even thinking about like Tyler Warren, because I know Jeremy Rucker hasn't really shown much. I'm hoping that with the offensive coaching staff we have, Jeremy Rucker can show and prove him being a contributor player and hopefully maybe years beyond. I know we can't bank on him, but I'm just hoping that this is going to be a good coaching group for everyone, and that's just a hope for me as well. But I totally get it. It's just more than just that. That's how I see it.
Yeah. How was Ethan though? Did you tell him I say hello?
I did, man, because he was fanboying so much that I saw him at the High Rocks race. I didn't even say I'm a fan of Jake Asman. I know he was on your show before, but I was like, I didn't even say I watched Jake Asman, but hopefully he'll give me a shout out on Jets content or something. I tagged him in my Instagram and tagged the Jets with it too. So who knows? Just fanboyed a little bit because I was just shocked. I saw Ethan Greenberg doing a High Rocks race in the same time in the same city as I was.
I hope the race went well, James. Always good to hear from you, man.
Always good, man. Yeah, it was good. It was challenging. It was fun, but it was challenging. So, but I love it. There's one in New York City in May, but it's busy. I can't get to it. So we'll see. But always a pleasure, Jake. Appreciate you. Go Jets, and let's keep on hoping for good things in the future, man.
Amen, James. That's maybe lose the offseason to win in the regular season. But why do I feel like we're losing the offseason and we're just going to continue to lose in the regular season? God, can we win games? That'd be awesome. I'll say this regime's got to get off to a fast start. They can't do what Gase did year 1-7, where it's like that's it. It's like he's cooked. Never should have been hired, and now he's cooked. Glenn starts 1-7. It's here we go, another first-time coach in over his head. He's cooked. Lane Kerner just wrote, "Can I call in?" Lane, can you call in? Where have you been? Lane, a 1 seed, in danger of losing to Rick Kent. Lane, you better call in and make your case. Lane is only up 54-46. It is right there for the taking for our third number 1 seed to lose before the Sweet 16. Lane, you better call in. Your shot at winning the best of the best trophy in ASMANIAC Madness is on the line. While we hopefully wait for Lane, let's check in with Artie of Peg and Artie. Hello, Artie.
Hey, what's up, Jake? How you doing today?
What's going on? How are you?
Good, good. All's well here. We had a little family get together. We smoked the brisket and got done. So I missed the beginning of your show, but I'm looking forward to checking it later. You know, I want to endorse Rick Kent, and you know, I think he's the man to win. So we'll see what happens.
Look, Rick is an excellent caller. He's got a great chance.
Lane! Vote for Lane! Peg's blasting me with a water gun. Vote for Lane! Anyway, the maniac I got to
She's
deal
rooting
with.
for Lane. I love it.
Yeah, he's gonna play. Because Lane's a Giants fan also.
A house divided. I love it.
House divided. It is. Hey, what's up with these Yankee bats? What's going on with that?
They're awesome.
Dear Lord.
I hope they keep using them. It's only
Oh
a
my
couple
God.
guys. It's only a couple guys on the team that are using it. It's basically it's the same bat. It's the same size of the bat and weight. They just shifted the barrel lower for certain guys' swings who were like hit it off the end of the bat. So now it's like basically the nerds looked at all these players' swings and designed a bat. The Orioles. I had Freddie Gonzalez on my radio show today. He was the Orioles bench coach last year. They used it last year with the Orioles. It's now becoming more prevalent around baseball. It's illegal though. MLB has approved the bats. It's not like it's like this conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. Yeah, I'm sure they weren't going to use an illegal bat, but I just thought it was interesting that, especially when they put up a 20 burger the other night. Very impressive team. It looks like it's going to be them and the Dodgers at the end. The Mets are not hitting as usual.
It's early. We played one weekend.
Yeah, I haven't given up yet. But I am interested, and I seen one stat that I thought was kind of interesting about Justin Fields, was that he's the only quarterback in football, the history of football, that has improved at these 4 key stats every year from the first year he was in the league till last year, which I believe is touchdown to interception ratio, yards, and a couple other ones. I think I either heard it on Badlands or maybe Richie's show or something. But I thought that was very hopeful that maybe he is getting better. I mean, what else we got, right?
He has gotten better, to your point, already 100%. Yeah. And you just look. I don't think he's the long-term answer, but it's a higher percentage of him maybe being the answer than some of the other guys. And that's what you have to hope. Like, no one saw Darnold being great this past year or Baker resurrecting his career after he flamed out in Cleveland, then Carolina, it didn't work. Right? Like, you never know. And I think at the bare minimum, with Fields, if you have good coaching, you can win games with him. But they fix this defense and they design an offense that runs the crap out of the football. They could be competitive and win games. I don't know if they're playoff worthy, but can you go 8-9 with Fields? I could see it. I want 9-8. Like, have a winning season. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to check in with the other half of the matchup going on in ASMANIAC Madness. We heard from Rick Kent earlier in the program. Rick Kent made his case. At one point, it was 50-50. Over 500 votes have been cast. Right now, Lane Kerner leads Kent 54-46. And joining us on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is none other than the Lane Train.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Hello, Jake.
Hey, Lane.
The 1 seed. I heard that Rick Kent called in earlier.
Yeah, Rick Kent called in trying to get people to vote for him over you.
I think I'm gonna win 32 with the seed.
Are you confident you're going to be able to hold off Rick here, Lane?
Yes. So that was a big Yankees win yesterday, and they looked like a football score, 9-20.
Yeah, they scored
Yeah,
more
with
points
Aaron
than
Judge.
the Jets did in some games. Scored more runs.
Yeah, I heard that Nick Stein went to the Yankees game today.
He did.
Anyway, well, I mean, when does the Jets schedule come out?
Not until May.
Oh, yeah, and what else? Yeah, I mean, so I think the Jets are gonna get more players.
Who are they gonna get?
Well, they have a lot more college that could really pick pick them up. Like, so I mean, if they just get like Taylor Warren, it's gonna be good. But I have no idea
Is
because
Taylor Warren related to Tyler?
Taylor Warren, and then you have Tyler Warren also.
So why don't we take both Warrens? Just like get every Warren possible.
Yeah, and where does Mason Graham goes to? Does he go to the Ravens, or do you sign him, or does he go to the Giants? I mean, are the Jets willing to sign him?
I don't know if he'll be there at 7 for them to draft.
And how is Carly's cookies doing? Good? Is she busy with the cookies?
I'm not sure. She hasn't called in.
And it's really yesterday felt like summer, and now it's spring again. That was weird.
What'd you do today, Lane?
I mostly cleaned.
You cleaned?
Yeah.
What was dirty?
Well, I mean, I still had to make sure everything was clean. I had clean people, and then I had to put away some of the dishes already.
You did the dishes?
Yeah.
Tom wants to know if you got tan yesterday, Lane.
No.
No?
Not that soon. Yeah, but some people were in the park in Manhattan doing that actually. But
Some
it's
people,
too
a lot
early
of
for
people.
me.
It was a zoo in Central Park yesterday.
So yeah, no, there's a lot of girls yesterday probably.
Oh yeah.
But
how come you weren't there trying to pick up beautiful women?
I don't know.
Okay.
Not appropriate. You sign. Well, I just can't believe that Zach Wilson's a giant.
Sarah says that she
And
loves
oh
you.
wait, yeah, let me read this. Oh my God, I love Lane so much. Thank you, sir. Let's see what else they read.
Tom
See if
says a
there's
lot of
any-
bikinis out there.
Why don't we ever see his face? That's what I get.
Yeah, what do you think Tom
Yeah.
Ace is hiding?
I don't know. Does he look good or not?
I've actually met Tom in person. I would say he's a handsome fellow.
Yeah. Dexter, I think the Jets get Dexter Hall still. I mean, coming up.
Who do you think they get?
Could go out. Dexter Hall could go to Jets.
Dexter Hull?
Yeah.
Do you think they would take him over Jackson Hole?
Jackson Hall, I mean.
Or Dixon Hall?
Where's Dixon Hall. Okay, well I'm on can you please take me off of full screen, please?
I don't really feel like it.
Okay. And so honestly, you have all these other teams going into the draft.
Lane, why should people vote for you or against Rick Kent?
Because I'll probably have the most points going into the seed.
You are the top seed, but a lot of people are voting for Rick Kent because he calls, he's an OG, he supports the channel. So why should people choose you over Rick?
I'll probably get the most points actually. It's not really that big if I don't win, but hopefully it will come. Okay. Yeah, That's all I have to talk about.
Well, Lane, you have a great night, all right?
Yeah, okay, thank you for taking my call.
You got it, Lane.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
We got a little bit of everything there from the Lane train. That's what Rick Kent's going up against. Salient point after salient point. Not going to be easy. But we've seen one seeds go down. This tournament is not over. More calls. Scotty Mayhem is on the line. Hello, Scotty.
Wow. I don't know how to follow that, but I think the take that got me for Lane and the reason why I actually voted for him, although I wish I would have waited for Rick Kent because I probably would have voted for him, just that, Lane feels that the Jets are going to take more players. I think that was the key to my, my feeling that he is an alien. I don't think he's of this earth. And that's why I think he's getting the votes. But Jake, what is the criteria for you for the voters? Like, what would you like the voters to think about? That's really what I'd like to know. How do you want us to cast our votes going forward?
Well, I think that's the beauty of this tournament, Scotty. The criteria is however you enjoy the show, whoever your personal favorite callers are, that's how you should vote. Like, if you like a caller because you like their Jets takes, vote for them for that. If you like a caller because they provide funny moments when they call in, vote for them for that. If it's a combination of a bunch of things, they did this really nice thing for someone in the chat one day or whatever it is. Like, however you want to vote, it is a tournament for the Asmaniacs by the Asmaniacs. So whatever your criteria is that you use, like some people have said, I won't vote for any non-Jet fan. So like that's their deciding factor in it. However people want to vote, that's how I think they should vote. That's how I look at it.
So just getting back to the draft, I just want to throw this out. I know you've talked about this, Jake. I really like the idea of the Jets not going back too far. I think that there are a couple of teams like New Orleans and Dallas that might come up. That's only a few picks back for us. I think we should trade back. I'm not locked into Membu. I think it would be fine if they take him. He looks like a beast. But I really want offense. And so if we can get another third round pick or maybe, a second round if somebody really wants Genty, I really think it's important, as you were saying, that we get 3 starters. So to have more options in the draft, to me, is really key. And I think they'll still get a great pick if they go back a few slots to the Dallas slot or the New Orleans slot. And we might get, Tet, or we might go with Warren at that point. So I'm really an advocate, and I think a lot of Jet Nation, at least on your show, I hear a lot of guys saying if we could trade back, you need a trade back partner. But I think people are underestimating how much Dallas, really wants Genty and how much New Orleans might want to come up for Shador. I'm hoping Shador falls to us because I think it just gives us more options to be able to trade back a few slots. So that's really my take. I'd like to know what you think. I know you want an offensive player, but I think we could still get Warren if we trade back a few picks.
Yeah, I would certainly be open to trading back, Scotty. So if I'm ranking my preferences, trade back and get picks 1. Of the options that I think could be on the table for the Jets, Warren would then be 2, Membu 3, Mason Graham 4. And I like Mason Graham. I really want this first pick to be an offensive player. I'm putting my faith in a defensive head coach, a stout defensive veteran coordinator to fix the defense and just find ways to get it done. Like Glenn had the Lions defense at times playing well last year, and they had no healthy bodies. I think they're going to be fine on defense. I get it. If they take Graham, you can't say it's a bad pick. Mason Graham is thought to be a really, really good player. But I really want the Jets to get the offense figured out in this draft. And I think there's a path to still finding a good defensive tackle on day 2. Pick 42 could be a defensive tackle if they took Warren at 7, let's say. And they could find a plug-and-play guard in the 3rd round or a guy who maybe could be a guy that could compete at tackle there. I just think there's options. I mean, pick 73 is a pretty high pick. Tyrone with a super chat. Cuts the line. Great show, Jake. Looking forward to the draft, but excited about the Knicks playoffs and the Mets starting the season. Go Jets. Amen. Amen. I'm excited for the Knicks playoffs as well. Hopefully they get fully healthy now. More calls before we start to wrap up here. I'm on the radio tonight from 10 to 1. I was already on the radio today for 4 hours, so I'm not doing a 7-hour YouTube show here. So I got to eat. I'm starving. And when I'm hungry, I call my guy, Chef Kevin, up and ask for advice on what to eat. Hello, Chef Kevin. Chef Kev, I can't hear you. You're on mute. Damn, I thought that was such a good transition, too. Hold on, let's see if we got Chef Kevin back with us now. Chef Kevin, hello. No, we can't hear you, Chef. Call back, reset the StreamYard. We'll go right back to you. In the meantime, let's check in with G-Man the Prophet. What's up, G-Man?
Oh, my God. I love you, Jake.
What's up, G-Man? Where you been?
I had a job change, man. I work for the Department of Treasury now. I had to relocate, change my identity from G-Man the Prophet to G-Man making money.
Well, congrats on the new job, man. That's awesome.
You're the best, man. Listen, I want just take a step back, Jake. You have great takes and everything, what you say and what you do. Here's the caveat, okay? We're in a great position. Everybody's screaming about Fields and his playmaking ability and what he's going to produce and this and that. You got to understand, this is a copycat league. We are on the brink of doing something very special. Here's my take on something the G-Man the Prof is about to partake in. And this is it. I want us to go with the offensive line and get that building thing to protect him and build this guy's confidence to more than what it seems to be. I had him in my fantasy football leagues. He always got me 60, 50 yards rushing, 175 passing. I think that's enough to solidify and build around him. Here's what I got to say with this. I believe the Jets are going to do something special.
Where do I sign for special, G-Man? Where do I sign for that? I'm in. Did we lose him? You know what? I hope his prophecy he just laid out there comes out to be true. Hopefully we get to hear this guy now. Ladies and gentlemen, a guy who's in battle tomorrow afternoon against the 3 seed in the Train region, Mr. Bonesy. We say hello right now to our resident chef, Chef Kevin. Hello, Kev. He's doing the Mikey Midnight hands up.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, my bad, man. I'm a little I'm under the weather, man. You know, I'm doing my best flu game right now, man. Been out of work for the last couple days, so thanks for putting me on, Jake. It's been a little chilly standing outside. My wife and my son, I gotta make sure safe and all that. I'm using my my OSHA right now. I can't really talk about what's going on, but I am battling some stuff right now, man. The caller you had before, I think it was Scott, talking about like a trade back opportunity. I mean, I think all of us are on board if it makes sense. I think he said something about like a 3rd round pick. If we're moving back a couple of spots, I mean, I wouldn't do that for a 3rd round pick. I mean, we gotta get at least a 1, man. Maybe a 2 if it's only if somebody's moving up to 7. It's not like last year where we were at 10 and we traded back one spot and we recouped. You know, we got a 2nd or whatever. Like I think it's important that we just stay the course, man. If we have weapons available for us, we get them. Now, if it's really enticing to move back, like I'm for it, man. I'm for the rebuilding and all that. I can't honestly say that we're in win now mode. Of course, we're here to win, but when you look at the areas like on offense and defense, all the holes that we have, man, it's like, let's get what we have and just retool and see what we got, and then fuel up for the following season. I think Vegas got it right, but I feel like we're gonna go over just knowing that the fan base, like we're not sitting here just rooting for losses. Like I don't think any of us here are rooting for L's, but knowing how hungry all of us are, no matter what picks you want and whatnot, we're all starving for wins. So I really feel like, you know, with the support and the energy that we have behind, that we will do more than that 5.5 that Vegas is talking about. I'm not going to bet the house on it. I'll be honest. I'm not going to bet the house on it. But my hope, and it's just hope, man, is that they got it right, knowing that they came out and they're not trying to make this like a on-air kind of battle about the quarterback situation. They're already saying that Fields is our guy. All right, cool. So there's not going to be any kind of like theatrics during the draft. Pardon me, during the draft where it's like, hey, we're trading up to get such and such, or now we get Shador, or we get Jackson Dart. Like, there's not going to be none of that stuff with a quarterback. We already got that solidified, at least for this upcoming season. See how he can move and groove. See where he can throw the spots to Garrett, get some other people open and whatnot. Like, I really feel like just let them go, man. Let them go. But, you know, when it comes to the offseason, I'm not used to this feeling, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. I'm gonna keep it real. We're used to winning, man. What the hell? We're losing the offseason? We got the draft to get it back, all right? Like, I still got hope in that. I still got hope, you know, that we'll make some trades and other things will happen. But right now, you know, I kind of feel that we're taking the L right now. If you don't mind, just that's my football stuff. I do have a battle tomorrow with Bonesy. It sucks, man. I have this whole thing set up for the job tomorrow, and that's canned. I can't get back to the job until Thursday. So, you know, that's canned. But I do have something else, man. I'm gonna try to do something tomorrow. But if you can I pitch my raffle, Jake? I had a raffle here for tomorrow. It's the Chef Kevin's raffle, where basically any super chats on Jake's show, you will be entered into Chef Kevin's raffle.
Ooh.
All right. And there's 4 prizes. All right. Number 1 is Chef Kevin Cloverleaf Tavern Black. New, is not game used, brand new autograph. You let me know how you want me to sign it, and I'll ship it off to you. All right. The second one is you mentioned it last week with our New Jersey meetup during this off season, where, you know, we're gonna have something at the Cloverleaf Tavern. Who's ever available, I'm gonna cook you an entree personally. All right, we'll design it whatever you want. I'm gonna make you something. Prize 2. All right, prize 3 is a Cloverleaf Tavern gift basket that I have. I got you, Jake, one when we was out in Long Island for the meetup or whatever. I got something special for the third one. The fourth one is a mystery pack, 4-pack of beer, total value of $30. And I'm telling you, for four bottles of beer for $30, you know there's gonna be some bangers there. And then this is the kicker. This is the freebie. All right. Any just single chat in the live chat talking about your support for me, Chef Kevin, you'll automatically you get a free bag of chips when I work. All right. I see it. I have a couple of committee members already looking from now until the end of tomorrow's thing with Bonesy. Anybody who puts their support there, you automatically get a free basket of chips when I'm working at the Cloverleaf Tavern.
Wow.
All right.
I
And
like it. That is a
Bonesy,
great way to do it, man. That is going to win some people over. I want to enter myself. I just super chatted this show as an example of what I'm going to do tomorrow. I want in
My
the
man.
Chef Kevin raffle. All right.
my man. I appreciate you, Jake. I appreciate you. I'm putting you down right now for that. And just so you know, this is it, man. There's no dodging Bonesy. If is Bonesy in the chat? I haven't seen the chat a little bit.
I don't
Bonesy, you
think
can't.
Bonesy's in here right
You've
now.
been dodging me this whole time. You can battle with middle school kids. Guess what? Tomorrow you're gonna have to battle me. And if you want to dodge, that's fine, because you've been escaping me this whole time. Tomorrow's the day. I don't think the Asmaniacs would like you just skating around and thinking, hey, I'm Bonesy. You guys gotta vote for me. No, why? What did you do? Tell me what have you done? What have you done during this Asmaniac Madness tournament? You tell me. Tell the people what you have done other than calling from a shoe closet. I want to know. Talk to the people. Because me, I'm here on the grind. I'm busting my ass out here, showing the people what I gotta do. All right. I want the voters to know that I'm out here. I'm with the youth. All right. I'm with the OGs. I'm Jersey, New York, Tri-State. I represent everybody. New callers, old callers. I'm with all y'all. I'm in the chats. I always show love. Y'all know that. and I'm sick, and I'm out here.
Oh, look at that. You got the Lowski shirt on. You kidding me?
Jets! Jets, Jets, Jets! Jets! Jets, Jets, Jets! Let's go!
Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Kevin. An ode to Lowski there. That's big. That's a battle tomorrow, man. Both are incredible callers. Both provide a ton to the show. Chef Kevin and Bonesy going at it, man. Can't wait. Can't wait. This guy will be in action when we start the Sweet 16. Can he take out a 1 seed, the number 1 overall seed? That, of course, is the big fella. And he's called in, and he's on the show right now.
When he's home, his bill is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his bill is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show, his bill is on the bed. He's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the jets, super jets. Well, the big fella sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. But that's a big fella.
Hey, man.
The big fella.
What's going on, man?
How are you, big fella?
Good, good. Yo, that's a battle going on tomorrow, huh? It's wild. Bonesy and Chef Kev, it's like choosing your favorite kid right there.
It's tough. It really is.
You know? Yeah. I came on to stumper my man Rick Kent. I know it's a little late. I was in earlier in the chat, but I had to do some things. So just wanted to say Rick Kent, he's amazing. He's a hell of a guy. He's a legend, actually. And if you don't vote for him, you're voting for a Giants fan. Rick Kent's the man. And that's what I got to say about that.
Lane wrote, "Hi, big fella."
Hi, Lane. It's not like I don't love Lane. I do, but I've asked Lane multiple times. Lane, Jets fan or Giant fan? He goes, Giants fan every time, dude. I'm trying to get him to say Jet fan so I could not use that anymore, you know? So, yeah. Last day of filming happened today. Very excited for Asmaniacs to see the final result of this story between me and Gorman. It's going to be interesting, but just like I said, great show and can't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, the big fella, one of the greats. Notice you're still boycotting this show, right? Bobby Midnight. Watch how quickly my show ends and Bobby then goes live, for the record, by the way. Just would like to point that out. All right, a couple calls left. Then I got to get ready for 3 more hours of radio till 1 a.m. this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to say hello and go up close and personal with our next caller.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi, Jake.
Hello, David.
Hello. I'll make it as quick as possible. And you brought up a really good point. Everybody has their own reasons for voting. Chef Kevin and Mr. Bonesy, for example, look at their professions. Chef Kevin, the nourishment and health of people, and Mr. Bonesy, the comfort, of a good fitting pair of shoes and, looking after your feet. So, I mean, that's a reason in itself. But I just want to 100% in my heart for Lane Train. And my reason there is, and I know you have said, gave me a compliment about being a nice person once in a while, but if there's a nicer person in the world than the Lane Train, I don't know. I don't know where you could find them. And the last thing I want to say is I was over at my brother's house. I was hoping your show was going to be on then because I'm going up against Neil, and he showed a family picture. I was intimidated of all the people in his family, but I might have something on him. My great niece, 6 months old niece, Emmy, she's an honorary Asmaniac, and she has ginger red hair.
Ooh.
And I was gonna try to show you her on air and everything, and I'm like, she's an honorary Asmaniac and part of the ginger hair group. So that's a pitch for me or whatever.
I'll tell you what, David. I'm pro redhead on this channel, so I do appreciate what you're trying to do.
Yes, and her father's also ginger red.
I love it. David, you're the man. You have a great night, all right?
You too, buddy.
I got my Iron Uji. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Great call from David T. Meadowman says the Islanders could score a power play goal, then why can't Fields become a Pro Bowl quarterback? Yeah, but the problem is the Islanders get the lead. They give it back immediately because Sebastian Aho just scored. So they got to win this game. 3-3. Got to find a way to get it done. Nick's playing right now, too. Yankees at least are looking good early, 3-0. I mean, the lineup is good. It is. Got to stay healthy. Very encouraging start. Nick Sean writes in, Chef Kev has more energy than any sick person I've ever seen. Get well and soon, brother. Yeah, hopefully Chef Kevin feels better tomorrow. He's going to need his energy against Bones. FPP says, vote the big fella over Gore Bum. Damn. Now, if Charles was here, you know what he would do, FPP? He'd rip one of these right in your mouth.
I think the second one, excuse me.
All right. All right. Barbarossa is up next, and then we'll check in with our closer who has returned. I'll explain what I mean in a moment. Barbarossa, how are you?
Cheers, I'm great. What's up, Asmaniacs? Just chilling, playing some like video games and stuff. But I wanted to ask,
hey, if you need a gaming headset, support the sponsor, baby. Turtle Beach.
Oh, all right, sounds good. I wanted to ask, like, if we trade back, what are the teams that we could trade with, and like, what are we going to be getting? Because I feel like if we trade back and we get anything less than the first round pick for next year, we're really going to just be hurting ourselves. Because
it depends how far you want to move back. Like if the Saints, let's play out a scenario, right? Saints like Shedeur Sanders. He's there at 7. Jets aren't going to take him. Last year, like they moved back one spot just so the Vikings can guarantee themselves J.J. McCarthy. If the Saints offer you a 3rd round pick this year to move back 2 spots, you wouldn't do it? I probably would.
yeah, I think I'd do that. But I just don't want to move back too far and not get someone who can make a difference in this season for that sake. And unless we're gonna get something like 2 first-round picks for next year and we can use them to get the quarterback we want. So I just don't want to over plan for next year and then not get something that we need for this year and just watch our team suck.
I agree with all that. I think there's a balance there, right? It depends how far a team's coming up. Like, let's say Pittsburgh wants to come up from 20. I think they're at 21 to 7. You're getting a first next year if they're moving up that far to get a quarterback. So, like, that to me is worthwhile. I'll move back to 21. I'll take Tet McMillan there or Golden, who's ever there, get my weapon, and I got an extra one for next year in case he doesn't work with. You know what I mean? Like, you play out that type of scenario. It really depends on all that.
Yeah. All right, cool. That's sort of what I was thinking. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I love the Chef Kevin raffle. I hope he's feeling better. I definitely want in on that. I think that sounds awesome. But I want to just get your thoughts on this. If you could build your ultimate Asmaniac, how would you do it? You know, I was just thinking about that in the car. We got a lot of great Asmaniacs with a lot of just different amazing talents and qualities. Like just as an example, like my ultimate Asmaniac would have David T's eyes and Gorman's ass. You know, like that's kind of
good.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I just thought if we got a lot of really great personalities and talents, and I just thought once this is over, it might be a fun thing to do. Like have everybody build their own ultimate Asmaniac.
I love that a lot. I was thinking like if you just like take certain aspects of what callers do well, what would be an example of this? Like you want you want maybe like Kyle Clifton's like mind for actual Jet takes. You might want Tom Ace's ability to be funny in the comments. You might want Mike D's nuts and Rick Kent's generosity. You might want I'm just like thinking of different things that like the certain callers and people do well. That's a funny segment though, man. You want You want V-Man's sleeping ability.
Yeah, yeah.
Like stuff like
exactly. Exactly. You want Gary's ability to question things.
that. Yeah. Boomtown King, you want Lowski's intensity. You want Jake West's
Definitely.
pranking ability. This will be a fun segment. we might have to do this.
Yeah, definitely. That's good, man. All right, well, that's all I wanted to say. Cheers, everybody. Enjoy. If you're a teacher and you have the day off tomorrow, cheers.
Wait, what holiday's tomorrow now?
Eid. It's great. We get every religious holiday off. It's dope.
Eid?
Yeah, it's a Muslim holiday. I don't. That's literally all I know, and I don't have to work. So celebrating.
Hey, God bless, Barbarossa. You're the man. Enjoy the day off.
Thanks.
Eid. I gotta be honest. I just never heard of that holiday. But to all observing Eid, I hope it goes well. All right, this guy called in earlier. He gave a take that the Jets were going to have a special season, and then he just left. And I'm like, is that the prophecy he's laying on us? But G-Man the Prophet, you've called back in. Where'd you go? What happened? Are the Jets still going to have a special season?
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be phenomenal. I was out on Thomas Edison's college when I did that take with you. And what happened was my phone just blinked out. So there goes the prophecy of what I'm about to bring to you guys today. We got to understand, we're about to go to a place we never been. Because we're going to go to this place, it's going to bring an embark on something that's very unique. We have in our power to build a very special situation to the organization of this franchise. I'm telling you, Jake, from the bottom of all I know and what comes to me, I haven't been around, but I was doing something else to where I had to go and do what I had to do and be not a part of what was going on in the last several months. However, and consequently speaking, and let me make myself perfectly clear, and I am not no doggone Stephen A. or anything of that matter, but here's the deal. We are going to get 2 signees that's going to bring the offensive power to what our cause is. That means we're going to do what we got to do and get that offensive tackle and the 7th pick of that first round. And what's going to happen is we're going to get Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen and sign a tight end. Mark my words, that's where we're going. And we're going to build something special. And he's going to be a top 10 quarterback with that type of surrounding and what we're going to build to him to bring the promises to Jets Nation and what we've been looking for and going out to be that team of what this culture is going to be built on, promised, and delivered.
G-Man,
that's it.
I'll tell you what, if that happens, this call will go down for the history books. And this will be me all throughout the upcoming Jet season if Justin Fields is as good as you think he's going to be.
Oh, my.
I mean, sign me up for that. G-Man the Prophet, one of the greats. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a show. I've done 4 hours on radio. I have done 2 hours on YouTube. I'm doing 3 more hours on radio tonight on ESPN Radio. So listen on the ESPN app or SiriusXM Channel 80. But that's a show. And that means it's time to declare a winner in our first round of 32 Train Region matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, at one point it was 50-50. He made a spirited comeback. But ultimately, it is the 1 seed advancing to the next round. The Lane Train is officially moving on to the Sweet 16. Over 600 votes were cast. Officially, it's Lane Train, 54. Rick Kent, 45. That means the 1 seed, Lane, is on to the Sweet 16. Rick fought hard, a great performance by him. Ton of people voted, which is always great to see. And that sets the stage for tomorrow morning. Who's Lane meeting in the Sweet 16? It will be either Kyle Clifton or Jay Graves. Jay Graves, the last remaining 4%er. Kyle Clifton, reliable, always salient with the takes on the line. It is a great battle, but only one can win. And then the afternoon slate, Chef Kevin trying to take down the 3 seed, Mr. Bonesy. That's where things stand in the greatest tournament in the history of tournaments, ASMANIAC Madness. Thanks to all who watched, everyone who gifted a membership. Reminder, we'll have more chances this week to win a signed Joe Namath helmet, signed Don Maynard helmet, signed Weeb Eubank helmet. Super Bowl 3 is our theme for this week's ASMANIAC raffle. Buy your draft ticket if you haven't before we sell out. A bunch of you bought over the weekend, so I'm grateful for that. Click the link in the description, and you can get your ticket and join us the night of the first round, 25 days from now, April 24th, Clinton Hall, New York City. We will see you there. Again, congrats to Lane. Great performance by Rick Kent. And I want to end the show by paying a little homage to the Lane train. Let's take us all back to where it all began with Lane, his first ever call into this very program. Have a good Sunday night. Listen on the radio. Go Jets. And we're back tomorrow to react to Aaron Glenn's full press conference with the media in the morning. Let's go to Lane, who's up next. Hello,
Hey,
Lane.
oh, hi.
Hello, Lane.
How is everything? Yes?
You're on the air, Lane.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Lane.
Hi. So, yeah, I'm happy about the way the Jets played today. And, you know, they moved the ball and they did great. Look, okay. I mean, I know it was raining out. Did you see the game?
No, I didn't watch it. What happened?
Well, they won. And the other team lost.
Lane, thank you. Come on, man. It can't be a real call. Lane, call back anytime, man. The Jets won today, by the way, folks. I don't know if you guys saw the game. God. Lane, this is for you. Cheers.